Now, the art of chain wrestling, as we call it in this business, chain wrestling is kind of where we link holds together, link for link for link. That's kind of the whole idea of why it's a chain, right? When you're grabbing that wrist lock and you got that wrist lock on and you want to go to a hammerlock, you don't want to stay in this position. This position is probably your most vulnerable for strikes, most vulnerable for anything. And unless you're working it over really good, there's no reason why he can't beat you up. Okay, so in this regard, when we lock up, boom, we have this good solid lock up or whatever. I brush that arm away. I'm going to trap this arm and get that wrist lock. Bam, I got that. Elbows are nice and tight to keep from him pushing my elbows up. Naturally, this looks silly. You're not flying away. Keep them in nice and tight. Boom, you got that on the chest. Now there's preferences here, guys. There's preferences. My preference is this, not to say this wrong, this is just the way I've always done it. My elbow comes over the top of his elbow. When my elbow comes over the top, then I can twist him into a hammerlock. That doesn't mean that that's the only way. So the elbow over elbow technique is the one that I like to use because I never like to let go of the body. I don't if I have that limb, I don't want to let go, because if I let go with one hand, it looks silly for him to just stay there and we're just holding hands, basically. So when I have this wrist lock applied, there are other ways you can come around the body and hook at the joint. So you can break down at the joint. That is also totally acceptable. However, I don't like the idea, it's just me, it's just me. I don't like the idea of just having one hand on the body and then this one breaking up, whereas when I have here and I have control over it, I can turn into the body. Now, in this position here, nice and tight, chest on the back of the shoulders is the idea. Is you want to create less space. The idea is to look like you're cranking on it when it's not coming up any higher than the belt line, because some of us old guys, our shoulders don't move. So you want to keep that around the waist level, the waistband level, and be able to crank up, because if you come up a little bit, he can really sell it. To add a little bit to your hammerlock if you want. Now, in this regard, see, there's a hole between the body and the elbow. There always will be, right? So in this hammerlock position, you can slip that right hand through with the back of the hand on the shoulders, okay? So the back of your hand goes on his shoulder blade. See how it's locked in there? It's locked nice and tight. Now, what you can do as a lever is use this hand and grab this one, boom, and then circle down. That's one of these things that is completely missing from wrestling, because this is reality based. So when you're in this position, that's tight. When you're here in this position and you've got the back of that hand on there and you just bring this across, put it nice and tight to the shoulder, you can turn that body. As you turn, you can take them all the way down to the canvas, working in different directions. Boom, how crazy is that, right?